Hey, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. Thanks for clicking on this video here. If you're brand new, this is Lake Pro Tackle. We are up in North Texas. You may have seen us in a few other people's videos of the worm bar and just the shop here. So if you found us on the recommended page, welcome. We have a bunch of rods, reels, and tackle here in North Texas, and we also sell online at lakeprotackle.com. We've got a bunch of exclusive baits that you can't find anywhere else and a bunch of hard to get rods and reels as well. So if you are interested in anything, head over to lakeprotackle.com, or if you like any of the items that we have in this video here, definitely check them out with the links below, lakeprotackle.com. Guys, we really appreciate it. So this video here, guys, for those of you who have followed along, I think y'all are gonna like this. So this video, we're gonna be going over a couple rods that we have in store now, rods that have been on order for quite a while, and some of them that we are now restocking. So we're gonna start at the lower end of rods right now. So starting off, we have a Shimano SLX rod. Now this is the new series of rod that they have, the SLX series. Right now we currently only have this model in. This is a 7'2" medium heavy fast rating rod. It does have it does have foam on it. The Shimano SLX line is an excellent line in the reels. You know, they have the SLX DC, they have the XT, they have the MGL 70, and they also have the standard SLX 150. Now with the rods, these guys are super awesome. They're really, really light rods, and they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 different eyelets on it. So 9 guides and a tip. The first two are going to be double-footed guides, and I really like the aesthetics of this rod. It has like a kind of cross weave pattern going down the blank here. It is a sanded blank, so it is smooth, and of course the SLX is highlighted with these blue highlights here on the handle and on the rod components and stuff, and the wrappings on the guides are also, they've got some blue on them. So this rod here is going to be retailing for, I believe it's like $99, just at like $100, and it's a great rod. Now 7'2" medium heavy, you can do a lot of things with it. It is a very fast tip, I would say. They label it fast, however the fast action on this one is pretty fast. Now, certain techniques I do on this, you know, being a 7'2", I can throw Senko, weightless Senkos, I can throw Texas rigs, I can throw lighter jigs on it. However, the blank itself is a little bit heavier, so I would be cautious and probably stay away from a lot of treble hook baits. You can throw them, I would just make sure that you're in the right areas for that treble hook bait. So, you know, throwing top water on this shouldn't be an issue either. This is probably going to be a good frog rod for something like a Jackal Kara frog, or even the new Jackal frog, the S2. So this one here for, I would say, lighter hooks, definitely a killer for that. And this is the SLX rod. You can see here, it's going to balance pretty well, a little bit above the handle, which when you put a reel on this rod here, it's going to balance amazingly and feel super light in the hand. So this is at the low end, guys, and we're going to move on to some more higher end rods here. All right, y'all, so these rods right here, I am extremely excited about. Now these are the Steez rods from Daiwa, and we've got 4 different models in the shop right now. We got all 4 of these already, and they literally sold out in a day. So if you want to get your hands on some of these, definitely get them while they're up on the website. I don't expect them to last very long because these rods here are extremely sensitive. These are like the top of the line for Daiwa, and it really shows in the craftsmanship of this rod. So starting it off, we're gonna go with this one right here. So this is called the One. This is going to be a spinning rod, a 7'6" medium light rod. The weight line that it's recommended for is gonna be 8 to 20 pound braid, 5 to 12 pound fluorocarbon, and the weight rating on this is going to be 1/16 to 3/4 ounce. So the One is really meant to be able to do it all. Now this right here for me, aesthetically is one of the most beautiful rods I have ever seen here, and we're gonna, let me hold it up for y'all, starting at the butt end of the rod right here. It's gonna have cork, and you're gonna see that it is kind of like a battleship gray rod blank, and you see right here on the handle, the part that you lock your reel down on, it's going to be beautifully battleship gray with red highlights on it, some silver in there. And it's gonna have the air seat right here. It's gonna be super light material to hold your reel, going down to some cork that you can grip on top of the reel. So it's gonna provide a lot more control when you're making long casts or really fishing just about any way. That's how I hold my spinning rods and spinning setups. I hold it above the reel. It gives me a little more leverage to put on that fish. Now moving down the rod here, of course, you've got AGS guides on this guy here. So it's gonna be carbon guides. And look at that there. And of course, each and every one of these is gonna come with its own rod stock. Moving down, it goes to an unsanded blank. So you're gonna save a lot of sensitivity there going down, and of course AGS guides all the way down. So this rod itself is very, very light. It's gonna balance a little bit above the reel seat too, about right there. Maybe a little farther right here, right there. Look at that. So it's gonna balance really, really well. There is a little bit more weight in the tip section, so when you do put a reel on this, it is gonna balance very, very nicely. So something that I'd recommend with this, of course, the Exist is going to make this the flagship combo from Daiwa for spinning. However, if you want a little more budget-friendly reel, the Daiwa MQLT is going to be a great one, but the Exist is definitely going to be a staple on this. So if you are interested in these, available right now, lakeprotackle.com, guys. You can go check them out. Again, the Daiwa Steez, the 7'6", medium light. Now we're gonna move on to this one right here. So this one, everything kind of looks about the same. So this one here is going to be the sensor. Now what's cool about the sensor rod is it's gonna use basically the same components going down cork to a cork handle to the air sensor reel seat that really, really amplifies your bites going through the rod here. Of course, that standard beautiful red highlighted reel seat there. Gonna keep going down. Again, unsanded blank, AGS guides going in here, and just absolutely beautiful rod. Now, they are double-footed, 3 guides up. So this one here, the first one, second one, and third one. And this one here is super, super awesome. So the sensor is going to be a 7-foot medium heavy rod with the suggested weight going to be 1/8 to 3/4, so same as the one, and a line rating of 5 to 14. So anything in the Texas rig category, the almost like wacky rig on like a bait caster, that's going to be good as well. Basically, most things you can throw on this rod. I wouldn't throw anything over that 3/4 size for sure. I would say 5/8 is probably the highest I'd do on this one, but for free rigging, this rod's gonna be amazing. For light Texas rigs, light finesse jigs, gonna be great as well. The rod itself has a good amount of tip in it, so the tip is extremely, extremely sensitive, and you can feel as you move your finger down the unsanded blank, and I've got my hand on the back here, I mean, you can feel every single thing going through this rod. That's why they call it the sensor. It's very, 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 very sensitive. So this rod here has a good amount of tip in it, and then it starts to get a little more backbone around the 4th eyelet up, and it's gonna start strengthening up and giving you a little bit more backbone. So that's why they call it a medium heavy, as opposed to just something like a medium or just a medium heavy like that. So the sensor, amazing rod. Again, free rigs, Texas rigs, light jigs. You can throw chatterbaits on it, lighter chatterbaits. You could do that. However, I think I'm gonna stick with more of the bottom contact baits just because it's a very sensitive rod and I don't wanna waste that potential. All right, next up, we're moving on to this one right here, and this is going to be the bottom contact 2. So again, every one of these Steez rods is gonna have kind of the same aesthetic look going down here, air sensor reel seat. And this one right here is going to be a 7'5", medium heavy. So it's gonna be that same action as that sensor, just a little bit stronger, a little bit more backbone in it. Being a 7'5" rod, this is gonna be great, amazing for dragging bigger stuff on the bottom. So really a next step up from the sensor. Football jigs is gonna be great. I would throw light Carolina rigs on this. And this one doesn't have as much tip in it. It's gonna be a much faster tip than the sensor, but it will strengthen up around the 4th and 3rd eyelet up. So this one here has 3 double-footed guides going up. Of course, the AGS guides is gonna make it extremely light. The air sensor reel seat is gonna be really light, and you can see right here, you're gonna have your fingers on the blanket itself right there. So that is an amazing feature that I love about these Steez rods. Again, this rod is a 7'5", medium heavy, and it is extremely light. One of my favorite reels that I'd probably put on this rod specifically for bottom contact applications is gonna be something like a Zillion, or even the Steez A2, which is gonna be great for heavy duty stuff, especially in that higher weight range. Now this one here is rated from 1/4 to 1 ounce in a line rating of 12 to 25. Being a 7'5" rod, I can still throw really far out there with, you know, jigs, big Texas rigs, big worms, and it's going to be amazing for that. You know, you can even throw a mag draft or something on this as well. It wouldn't be a bad little finesse crankbait, not quite small finesse, but like a, you know, 4-inch Kitech, something like that on a jig head, even like a scrounger. It's gonna be amazing. So last up in the Steez lineup that we have right now is going to be this one right here. Now this one is called the Universal Power. So this is a 7'9" heavy rod. However, it's going to have a good, very fast tip on it. So you can see right here, it's going to spring back extremely fast. Everything's about the same on it in terms of looks. AGS guides, of course, 3 double-footed guides going up from the bottom. 7'9" heavy rod. This one is rated for 1/4 to 1.5 ounce. So this is gonna be your big boy rod, your big old worms, your giant shaky heads. You can throw some swim baits on this guy here. Again, for a 7'9" rod, this thing is extremely light, and that's thanks to all the application of the AGS guides, of course, the air sensor reel seat, and all the components on this rod. The Universal Power is great for just about everything in that. I would say effectively like I guess 1/4 up to 1 ounce for sure. So this guy here, Universal Power, I don't think they're gonna last long at all, so definitely go check all these out, lakeprotackle.com, guys. New customers can save 10% off their order with code NEW10. And let's move on to our final rod here. So little backstory on this rod. There's only a certain number of these ever made. I think the number's like 1,000 or something. And this is going to be a very limited rod, and it is from Evergreen. Now, if you're familiar with Evergreen, it's basically like a Daiwa rods, but Evergreen's kind of their own company. Of course, you know them from the chatterbaits and stuff, and that's what this rod was made for. So Brett Height made this rod with Evergreen to throw jackhammer chatterbaits, and really just all chatterbaits in general. Works good with chatterbaits, cranking, and this is a glass rod here. So this rod itself weighs 6.9 ounces, which is much lighter than any glass rod in existence. So this rod right here utilizes some really cool technology. Of course, again, only like 1,000 of them are ever made, and this one right here, we're very lucky to get, so we want to give a huge shout out to our Daiwa and Evergreen rep, Winston. Super cool guy. Definitely hooked us up with one of these here, and very excited to show y'all. So a little more about this rod. Let me see here. It is a 7'3", again, glass rod, and it's going to be a heavy rod. So now, being heavy glass rod, it's still gonna have a huge amount of bend in it. However, the action itself is a very slow action. The guides on it are not AGS guides, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guides going down, and the first 3 of them are double-footed. Now, the aesthetics of this rod, let me show you. Let's start from the butt here. First off, this part right here, you know, where you normally have foam or cork, this is actually carbon, which makes this rod even lighter than if it did have foam or cork. So the carbon module going down and at the back, at the butt section, and of course you have the spiral wrapping on the rod. You see right there, it says, what does it say? Chatterbait, jackhammer special, super cool. And then you move down to this part here. Now this is carbon. It's very grippy, surprisingly. So this right there is super cool. Move down to the trigger, and you see how it's open, like right here. You can have your hand there, have fingers there, down in the bottom, and of course your reel is gonna sit right above that open blank there, and it's gonna transmit, you know, whatever you're fishing through right there. So you're gonna be able to feel it. Now the part that you lock down onto the reel, very clean. Open it up a little bit there for you. And look at that, silver highlights, of course red, and I love that little crown piece right above this. Now, we got evergreen, super combat stick going down. It's gonna be that same like spiral looking wrapping going down, and overall guys, you're not gonna find these ever again. This is you're not gonna find these ever again. This is gonna be like a one single run of these, and once they're out, guys, and it's gonna be a hard time getting them again, other than trying to find them online for extremely high prices. So if you wanna get this, we only have one in stock. We're only ever getting one in stock. So I highly recommend you, if you like fishing a jackhammer, if you like fishing chatterbaits, moving baits, crankbaits, definitely check it out. Now, I don't remember if I said the ratings on this, so let's go over that. So power heavy, action moderate slow, lure rating 3/8 to 2 ounce. So you can throw some pretty big spinner baits or crankbaits on this, and it's gonna handle it fine. Line rating is going to be 10 pound to 20 pounds. So bladed jigs, crankbaits, SCSC 7.3 HG, which is heavy glass, and a, again, 7'3" rod. So if you are interested in this rod here, only one we have, definitely share this with your buddies if they love fishing jackhammers or chatterbaits, and we really appreciate it, guys. I hope you learned a lot from this video here. If you want to come in store and feel these rods, definitely come on up or come on down and check them out, because we've got a bunch of Mega Bass, we've got a bunch of G Loomis, a bunch of high-end rods. We even have a ton of lower-end rods too that are absolutely amazing and definitely want y'all to try out as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell for when we go live or have awesome videos going up, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, guys.